Leaves whipped past in a blur. You could almost hear Miko's heartbeat, quick and nervous. He was so close. One more branch. One more step. But then a sudden crack echoed through the trees. The branch beneath him snapped. Miko, the tiny baby monkey, slipped. His little hands reached out desperately, but there was nothing to hold on to. And then he was falling. Down through the air. But sometimes when you climb too fast, you forget to see what's beneath you. Then silence. Darkness. And slowly the jungle woke with a gentle sunrise. Let me tell you how he got here. The story of Miko and the mango. Once upon a time, deep in a lush and colorful jungle, lived a playful little monkey named Miko. Miko had big, curious eyes, tiny hands that loved to swing, and a laugh that echoed through the treetops. Every day, the jungle woke up to the chirping of birds, the rustling of leaves, and Miko chasing butterflies. But one sunny morning, everything changed. Miko swung playfully through the trees, giggling as the wind tickled his fur. But then, something caught his eye. High up in the distance, perched at the very top of the tallest tree in the entire jungle, was the biggest, juiciest, most golden mango he had ever seen. He froze. It shimmered like sunshine, like a glowing treasure just waiting to be claimed. The kind of mango stories were told about, the kind of mango you dreamed of. It didn't just hang there. It called to him. Wow, that mango is mine. I just have to get it. His voice trembled with excitement. His eyes sparkled like stars. His little monkey heart thumped like a drum. In that moment, the mango became more than just fruit. It became a goal, a prize, a dream. Miko's tiny fists clenched with determination. He looked up at the towering tree, branches swaying in the breeze. Without a second thought, he whispered to himself, I'm gonna get it, no matter what. And with that, Miko's great adventure began. From that day on, Miko changed. No more playing hide and seek with the baby pandas, no more splashing in the river with the turtles, no more nap time with his big brother. Miko was on a mission. He woke up before the sun and climbed until the stars came out. He practiced every single day, non-stop. He mimicked the cheetahs, sprinting through the underbrush, legs burning, trying to match their speed. He watched the toucans, still and silent on the branches, and copied their focus. He even studied the leopards, graceful and sure-footed, to learn their balance. If I just work harder and faster, Miko told himself, breathless and tired, I'll reach it sooner. So he skipped meals, he skipped playtime, he skipped life, all for that one golden mango hanging far above the treetops, shimmering like a dream. Then came the day, the climb. Miko stood beneath the towering mango tree, his little chest rising and falling quickly, his tail twitching with excitement. His eyes locked on the golden fruit above, gleaming in the sunlight like a treasure waiting to be claimed. This is it, he whispered to himself. I'm ready. He took a deep breath. Then he jumped. He swung from vine to vine, his tiny hands gripping tightly. He scrambled up thick branches, his feet moving fast, his heart moving faster. But he kept looking up, only up, at the mango. He didn't see where he placed his paws, didn't notice the slippery moss or the trail of ants crawling just beneath the bark. His foot slid, and in a blink, he lost his grip. He fell, not far, but far enough to land with a thud and a heart full of frustration. He sat there, rubbing his elbow, looking back up at the mango. So close, but not close enough. The next day he tried again, and the next, and the next. Morning after morning, Miko stood at the foot of the towering mango tree, eyes locked on that golden fruit at the top. His heart raced every time he began the climb. He leaped, he reached, he climbed. But each time he fell. Just a little, just enough to bruise his pride. But he never gave up because his mind was full of that mango, that one big goal. He dreamed of how sweet it would taste, how shiny it would look in his hands, how proud everyone would be. But the more he stared at it, the more he missed what was around him. He didn't hear the birds chirping nearby. He didn't notice the butterflies dancing past. He didn't laugh at the baby elephants splashing in the mud. He grew tired. He grew grumpy. he grew lonely. The other baby animals watched from afar, peeking from behind trees and bushes. They missed Miko. The old Miko. The happy, giggly, banana-loving Miko who used to play tag in the treetops and share jokes by the riverbank. Now he was always climbing, always chasing, always frowning, and never stopping to smile. One evening, as the golden sun dipped behind the trees, painting the sky in soft orange and pink, Miko sat beneath the mango tree. His fur was messy, his paws were muddy, his face tired and full of frustration. He let out a long sigh and stared up at the mango, so close and yet so far. Just then there was a gentle flutter of wings. A colorful old parrot glided down from the canopy, landing gracefully beside him. The parrot had feathers like a rainbow and eyes full of wisdom. He tilted his head, looked at Miko, and let out a small chuckle. That mango, huh? Miko nodded slowly, his shoulders slumping. I've been trying and trying, his voice barely above a whisper. The parrot fluffed his feathers. I've seen many monkeys chase that fruit, he said kindly. Some climb fast, some fall hard, but the mango doesn't matter as much as the climb. Miko blinked, confused. What do you mean? I've worked so hard, I just want it so bad. The old parrot smiled gently. Little one, the fruit is sweet, but the climb makes it meaningful. He looked up at the great tree, then back at Miko. Try again, but this time, don't rush, don't chase, climb, and see. With that, he stretched his wings and soared back into the sky, leaving Miko quiet and thinking. The next morning, Miko woke up before the sun. The jungle was still sleepy, wrapped in a soft golden light. He stretched his little arms, rubbed his eyes, and looked up at the towering mango tree. But this time, he didn't rush. He didn't leap. He just looked. Really looked. He stepped forward and gently touched the bark. It was rough but strong. He ran his tiny fingers along it, feeling its texture. Then he noticed something. Tiny ants, marching in a perfect little line, carrying crumbs and leaves far bigger than themselves. Miko tilted his head and smiled. Hey there, little guys, he whispered. He watched them work as the sun peeked through the trees. Up above, a sleepy owl blinked at him from a hollow. Miko gave a gentle wave. The owl yawned and closed its eyes again. Just then, a squirrel zipped by. It flipped and twirled and landed with a proud little squeak. Miko laughed. He took a deep breath and reached out, balanced on a branch, then another, then climbed. One careful step at a time. He wasn't chasing anymore. He was exploring. He felt the breeze on his fur, cool and gentle. He smelled wildflowers blooming nearby, sweet and fresh. Everything felt new. Everything felt alive. And for the first time, Miko smiled, not because he was closer to the mango, but because he was truly enjoying the climb. Halfway up the tree, Miko paused. His little chest rising and falling, not from exhaustion, but from wonder. The view was beautiful. The sky peeked through the leaves like patches of blue silk. And then he heard something, a giggle. Then another. Voices, familiar voices. He turned and looked down. It was the baby pandas, bouncing and waving from the ground below, and waddling right behind them, the turtles, their shells glinting in the sunlight. And there, just behind a fern, was his big brother, grinning wide. Go, Miko, go, the pandas cheered. But don't forget to look around. One of the turtles raised his head slowly and smiled. Every branch, he said gently, has its own story. Miko laughed, a soft, real laugh. He waved down at them, his heart full, and for the first time in days, he smiled, not because he was getting closer to the mango, but because he felt something else, something warmer, something lighter. He felt happy. Branch by branch, Miko climbed. Leaf by leaf, he rose higher. His hands moved with purpose, not with force, but with focus. He didn't rush. He didn't stare at the top. He noticed the bark beneath his fingers. He listened to the whisper of the wind. He smiled at a butterfly that fluttered beside him for a moment, then danced away. And then, after what felt like both a moment and a journey, he reached it. The top. The world below stretched far and wide, green hills, twinkling rivers, clouds drifting slow and soft. And there, Glowing in a patch of sunlight was the mango, golden, perfect, warm. Miko reached out slowly, gently, and plucked it from the branch. He didn't cheer, he didn't shout, he just breathed. A quiet moment, full of peace. "I made it," he whispered to himself. He sat down, crossed his little legs, held the mango in both hands, and took a bite. It was sweet, it was juicy, it was delicious. But even more than that, it tasted better because he earned it. Not just with muscle, but with mind and heart. Miko didn't rush back down. He took his time, swinging gently from branch to branch. He waved to every bird, every flower, every buzzing bee. The jungle looked different now, not because it had changed, but because he had. When he reached the lower branches, he heard laughter, excited voices. His friends had gathered at the bottom, the baby pandas, the turtles, his big brother, even the sleepy owl was watching. They weren't cheering for the mango, they were cheering for Miko. Miko landed softly on the ground. He looked around, eyes shining. And then he said, "I didn't just get the fruit, I got the forest, too." He smiled, held up the golden mango, and gently began to share it. One piece for a panda, one piece for a turtle, one for his brother, and even a special juicy piece for the old parrot who watched with knowing eyes. The fruit was sweet, but sharing it made it even sweeter. And so, Miko learned that goals are sweet, shiny, exciting, golden, like the mango. But the journey, that's where the magic lives. Each step he took, each friend who smiled, each leaf he touched, every breath of jungle air, that was the real treasure. So, friend, whether you're climbing a tree or chasing your own mango in life, don't forget to look around, to notice the little things, to wave at the birds, to laugh with the squirrels, to rest when you're tired, and to enjoy the climb. Because sometimes the best part of reaching the top is everything you learn on the way up. And so, Miko didn't just reach for the mango, he reached for the moment. He discovered that joy isn't only at the top of the tree. It's in every leaf, every breeze, every tiny ant marching with purpose. Sometimes we're in such a hurry to get there, we forget the beauty of being here. The mango is sweet, yes, but the climb, the journey, that's where life truly lives. If this little story touched your heart, please give it a like. It helps more than you know. And if you believe someone else needs this gentle reminder too, share it with them. It might just be the mango they were looking for. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another story from the heart. We have so many more adventures waiting for you. Until next time,